Hi, everybody. Well, okay. I talked about how great the staff was here on board, and I did have an incident. But I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want to seem petty or vindictive or anything like that. So I'm not gonna do anything. You know, Princess has been wonderful to us on this cruise, so I don't want to tarnish what has been an amazing cruise, an amazing staff on board. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let it slide. As I always say, roll with the punches. Now it was kind of like a personal attack that happened, but that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that, and that's why I was mad. Because a lot can happen, but when something like that happens, I get mad. But that's it. That's all I'm going to mention. No names, no what happened, no departments, no who it was. Let's just say Princess looked after it, and it's resolved. As always. Always. So, I do have something, though. It's kind of weird. Because when I looked at all the things we were going to do on this cruise, the shore excursion I was kind of most looking forward to, that I thought would be the most amazing, turned out to be the least enjoyable. And the one I thought would be the least enjoyable turned out to be one of the best ones I've ever done. So the last 2 days, we have been in Sydney, Nova Scotia, as well as Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Now, here in Charlottetown, it's very well known in Prince Edward Island for Anne of Green Gables, the famous Canadian book. Like there's an Anne of Green Gables area, museum, farm, everything is Anne of Green Gables in Prince Edward Island. But my niece signed us up for a walking tour from the ship and a performance in a college here in Charlottetown, not too far from the port. We can just walk to it. It wasn't very far. It's a 10-minute walk. And I went, okay, well, it's going to be summer theater, you know, that kind of thing. Maybe it's students from the college. You know, it's just going to be, you know, cute and average. I'm not looking forward to that at all. I'm not looking forward to that. But the one before, Sydney, I've driven what's called the Cabot Trail here in Nova Scotia many times. I've gone whale watching down there. I've gone with my stepdad and I've gone with my mom. And we used to go down here on vacation with my dad and my mom when I was younger. And so I remember the Cabot Trail, beautiful places and everything like that to see. Trouble is, the really spectacular views and the really spectacular places were further than the bus could make in one day, I think. Now, we did get some great views in some places. Trouble is, when you're going by bus, right? Now, this is the Cabot Trail Scenic Drive. It was about 9.5 hours. And I figured it out that we were on the bus pretty much 7 of those hours. And then, so it broke down to 10-minute viewing area, 40-minute rest stop. We were also at the Gaelic College, but there was nothing there but a gift shop and bathrooms. And there was like 6 buses there, all trying to use those same 2 small bathrooms. So they were lined up, and that's why we ended up spending 40 minutes. It was a nice little stop. The college is neat to see and everything like that, but unfortunately nothing was going on at the time we were there. So it was just a bunch of buildings for a college and a gift shop. So a little anticlimactic. And then we had another stop at a overlook area, 10 minutes. We went to a beach that was destroyed by the hurricane last year, Fiona, where it brought up all these rocks onto the beach and it covered the actual beach area. And we were there for about 15 minutes. And then we went to lunch. at a restaurant that was featured on a Canadian television show that features different restaurants from around the world, and they told us a little bit about the history of the restaurant that was on TV and everything like that. And I was kind of, oh, okay. And they're famous for this onion ring burger that they make, kind of thing. The ring burger, it's called, where people drive for hours and upon hours to come to this restaurant just to have a ring burger. And I said, oh, okay, well, this is going to be good. It's going to be a good lunch. And unfortunately, when we got in there, what was there was a sandwich buffet with some cold cuts and some cheese. Now, to be fair, they did have a cobbler of some kind. They had mussels and they had clam chowder there. I wasn't in the mood for mussels and clam chowder in the afternoon, like early in the day kind of thing. So I just made myself a little sandwich, and this is what it looked like. This was my lunch, and then we were supposed to be there an hour and 10 minutes. I think we were maybe there 40 minutes because everyone was done. They were very nice in there and everything, but it was too crowded. Like, it was overcrowded. They didn't have enough tables for our full bus. Tony and I and our friend Christy ended up eating outside on a bench because there was no more room inside by the time we got in to get our seats. So yeah, that was a little disappointing because they said they're going to have a meal on board and everything, and you would think it would be like a little taste of Sydney, Nova Scotia, right? A lobster salad, a lobster burger, lobster rolls. I mean, you say, well, you're expecting a little too much, Don. That's a little expensive. Except this tour was $199 a person. So and that's US. So between the four of us on this, it would have cost us $800. And I got cold cut sandwiches and a hamburger bun. Was my lunch. There was nothing spectacular there. We couldn't order the ring burger. They shut down on the days that the cruise ships are there because they get overwhelmed with the cruise ship buses. And so they just prepare these buffets and then they switch it over and add more food, and then the next bus comes in. So that's what they do. But yeah, a little disappointing there. And then we had a couple more stops at a couple buildings with an overlook of some water. And then we headed back to the boat. Now, the longest stop we had would be the washroom break in the morning and our lunch. And then the rest of the stops were 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't know, for $199, it wasn't great. Let's just put it that. We were all falling asleep because we're on the bus so long. And I know that these are like this, but I wanted to show guys Cabot Trail because I remember the Cabot Trail from when I was a kid. And like I said, and it was spectacular, a little bit of my history, a little bit of my, stuff. And let's just, I didn't enjoy it. Not for that price. If this was $100, maybe I would let it go. But it's $200 a person. And basically we're on the bus and we saw this. We saw trees. The vast majority of the time, we saw trees. And that was about it. So, yeah, I can't recommend it. I can't. You do get some nice views and everything up there. But by the end, everyone was kind of talking about the same thing, going, this is a long day for what we're seeing. This is an awful long day for what we're seeing. Now, had we been able to go all the way around the Cabot Trail and go to those top areas and the other side, it would have been amazing. But unfortunately, it's just too far for the bus to go, unless the bus was overnighting and you make it into a 2-day trip. So, yeah. And then Charlottetown, we went to the college after the walking tours, about 25 minutes to get there. Got inside, and the play started. And let me tell you, these performers were great. They were amazing. it was a musical of all things. And I like my Broadway shows. You know that. I love my Broadway shows. But I had very low expectations. But it was comical. It was heartfelt. It was, tear-jerking in some points. And the actors and actresses in there were terrific. One girl who's in the chorus at the beginning, just as a side, as a student, just running around kind of thing. You say, oh, okay, that's going to be the chorus girls, and they're just going to be like the side actors. Then you have the main singers and everything. And also in the second half, she changes her clothes and she becomes a different character at a different location in the play. And her singing's amazing, her acting's amazing. It was absolutely terrific. So it's called Anna and Gilbert. Okay, if you're ever in Charlottetown on a cruise and you're looking at that and going, oh, that's not really Anne of Green Gables, and I don't think I would enjoy a show. We'll put it this way. We walked in, it was 3 hours long with an intermission. And as soon as I heard 3 hours, I went, what? I gotta sit here for 3 hours? Well, on this cruise so far, it's probably 3 of the best hours I've spent on any port. They were that good. And I am so glad we decided to go and not cancel at the last minute, because I was contemplating that. So yeah, I thought the Cabot Trail would have been the best one. It turned out to be not so great, not terrific. And then this one, the musical, I thought would be the worst one by far, and it was my most enjoyable excursion on the trip. So it just goes to show you, you never know. Even when you think you know, you don't know.